Today we are going to look at soldering. Before soldering, please make sure that you are wearing your safety goggles and your aprons to protect your clothing and yourself and your eyes. And then the soldering iron obviously needs to be plugged in, and the sponge needs to be damp so that you can clean the tip of the soldering iron. Also, please ensure that if you're not using the soldering iron, that it stays in its holder to keep it safe and away from anybody so they don't burn themselves. So to solder, the first thing you want to do is remove the soldering iron. Ensure the tip of the soldering iron is clean by gently rubbing the tip of the soldering iron on the sponge. We then want to place a small amount of solder on the tip of the soldering iron like such, so we have a little ball of solder. We then want to bring that ball of solder onto the board so that it touches the component and the pad. You have to heat up both the component leg and the pad in order for the solder to stick to both. We then want to apply a little bit of solder on the other side, hold it for a second or two, remove it, and we should have a lovely soldered joint. We're looking for a joint that is shiny and silver all the way around the joint. You cannot see the hole anywhere, and making sure that the component and the board have both got solder on them. We can then repeat the task for the next joint as such, making sure your fingers are as far away as you can get them from the soldered joint. Remove that, clean the tip of the soldering iron, and place it back in the holder as such. Obviously this will still be hot for a few moments after you've soldered it, and obviously the soldering iron is extremely hot as well, so be careful when using that. You then want to get yourself the pair of side cutters, and you want to trim down the wire by simply clipping on there, removing that, making sure you've got your goggles on, and clipping on that before you do that, and there you should have a lovely soldered joint.